Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today as we get into a jam-packed video. There's loads to discuss. Now, the build up to the games this weekend is not that great because Chelsea are playing against Tyson Fury FC. Now, if you don't know, Tyson Fury is from Morecambe and we're playing Morecambe in the FA Cup, who are currently sitting close to bottom of League 2. So the preview to that will be out tomorrow, but because of the stature, some would say lack of stature of that game, you'll get a double upload tomorrow. Yeah, I'll also fill you in with the news, don't worry. Because look, the preview tomorrow is going to be interesting because there's not much to say, if I'm being completely honest. But we'll get to that double upload tomorrow without question. Let's get cracking. What has gone down today? Well, there's quite a few topics to get over. Let's start off with this one. Here it is. So David Ornstein came out and spoke about Nico Williams, saying Chelsea maintain their interest in Nico Williams. But the package is just shy of 60 million euros at the moment because it fluctuates with inflation and you have to pay it in full, which is a problem with PSR and cash flow. And then he's on a really high salary. I'm sorry, but I don't comprehend, right? I don't comprehend how 60 million euros is high. How is that financial constraint? I don't understand. The last bit is the most important bit. He is on a very high salary. And we all know Chelsea are not paying it. So this is a dead story. End of story. Whatever it says here about Chelsea maintain their interest in Nico Williams, I do not believe that one bit. Even David Ornstein, I do not believe that one bit. No chance. Because we ain't paying... Chelsea are not paying the salary. So if we're not paying the salary, why are we interested? It doesn't add up. If I can't afford something, well, we can afford it. Let's not pretend we can't. We can afford that. If we really wanted to, we could. We choose not to. We choose not to. It's a choice, right? Possibly because they want to balance books. They want to try and bring the whole wage structure down. They want to try and, get players on salaries with bonus incentives. And they're not going to pay the salary that Nico Williams is on out of their own choice. That doesn't mean we can't do it. But if I can't afford something or I choose not to buy something for a certain price, why would I remain interested? Yeah? Let me give you an example. I see, I'm just saying an example, a MacBook Pro, right? And it's limited edition. And it costs not 1K, not 2K, it costs 5K. Am I interested? I'm not interested. As much as I like the product, I'm not interested. So I don't buy it one bit. We may have liked the player, but we're not going to pay the salary, so it's not happening. Simple as that. Simple as that. Simple as that. And if we do end up paying a salary for someone like Nico Williams, it means that we've broken our wage structure rule. Which, to be honest, the way that we are operating, I welcome. And I'll welcome it. Why? Because in order for you to get top quality in, you need to pay top salary. It's as simple as that. Now, I'm not saying pay stupid salary. I'm not saying pay someone 350k a week. No. But that 200, 250 mark, it's become standard for the top ballers in the game. If you want them, you're going to have to pay that. Simple as that. So that's why I would welcome it, but I don't think Chelsea will do it. So, non-story. Let's move. Let's move to this. Here's the latest on KDH. Understand a few clubs, including West Ham United, have inquired to Chelsea to see the possibility of Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall and what conditions would need to be met. Player wants to be playing regularly, and that's understandable. One to watch. We also had an update from Matt Law today saying on KDH, the message I got yesterday was that Chelsea would rather sell him than loan him out. I can't say who in case it messes up a deal. There's one massive club in Europe in for him. It's genuine. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. I asked the question, why did we get Dewsbury-Hall in the first place? Why? Why? Well, answer. Here it is. Patty says, KDH transfer amongst Chelsea people is still confusing. Some say it's because it was to settle Leicester's PSR problems, and some say it's because Brighton were closing. Now, KDH's team are altered and have received huge interest from West Ham, Dortmund, some clubs from Serie A too, 25 million minimum. Now, don't get me wrong. We would end up, technically, we would end up in profit. So for Chelsea, they're not looking at this like it's a bad thing, right? Us as fans will look at this and go, what? Why? And I ask on a footballing level, why? Why did we bother, right? It is the most pointless transfer, one of the most pointless transfers I think Chelsea have ever done. Yeah? No disrespect to the player. It was never going to work. I initially believed when we got Dewsbury-Hall in that it was just to maybe try and settle Maresca. Someone that's played under Maresca before, someone that knows what he wants. So you get someone in who is already familiar and maybe that helps things. I was looking at it from that sort of lens. Now, apparently we wanted to sort out Leicester's PSR problem. Why? Why? What's the point? I don't get it. Or because Brighton were closing. Well, let them close. It doesn't add up. It don't make sense. So, look, an absolute pointless deal. But again, from the eye of the fan, a pointless deal. From the club's perspective, I say our, from the club's perspective, from the owners and directors, well, considering that he's on a certain contract and considering that we would get a transfer fee, considering that we were playing book value and he's leaving basically less than a year from when he arrived, Chelsea went up in profit. So that's that. That's how it works. So they ain't complaining. They're not complaining. Now, let's Dewsbury-Hall. Let me know your thoughts on that as we shift over to the defence. What's the latest on the defence? Here it is from Sammy Mockbell. Chelsea's plan of including Chalobah in a swap deal for Marguerite could hit a stumbling block over Chalobah's wages. There it is. I don't believe we're getting Chalobah back. I don't believe it. I'll tell you why. Chalobah, I think, will be used if we are going to go in for Marguerite as part of a Marguerite deal. Now, this could be a problem, ironically, not because Chelsea don't want to. I think Chelsea would very much do that. And I've said I'm against that, basically, because as much as I do like Marguerite and his improvement since he left Chelsea compared to what he's now, I don't believe he is the centre-back that's going to transform the defence. We need someone that's going to come in and transform things. Someone that's going to take things to a new level, right? Top CB. A top CB. We're playing Champions League football next season. If we play Champions League football next season. But we have to prepare for that. We need 2 top players in certain positions. Centre-back specifically. Striker specifically. Goalkeeper, I would want to, but you can manage to a certain level. And the midfield, we just need good depth. But the CB and the striker position, we need killers. So if we were to go in for Marguerite, I believe because of the money that will be spent, Chelsea would settle for him, and that's it. We're not spending on another CB, and I don't think it's sufficient enough, which is why I want us to wait to the summer. If we wait to the summer, we bring Chalobah back now, fill it into the summer, reassess the situation, try and get a killer in, right? Chelsea, I think, would want to use Chalobah as part of a Marguerite deal, considering we've already got a 20% sell-on clause of Marguerite, which means a 20% discount. You stick Chalobah in, at this point, you can basically look at getting Marguerite for about 10 mil. Right? Let's just be real. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe we can get him for 20 mil, with Chalobah included. That's a cheap deal, right? But Crystal Palace are going to have a problem paying Chalobah his salary, because right now he's on 80k a week at Chelsea. If he's on 80k a week, you expect Crystal Palace to pay that sort of salary? No. Not just match the salary. If they're going to keep the player, they're going to have to increase it. So what, you're going to pay Chalobah 100k a week? That's where it gets sticky for Crystal Palace, which means, look, we got to think wisely here. And honestly, as embarrassing as it would be for the club because of what they did in the summer to Trevor Chalobah, the right thing to do would be to recall Trevor Chalobah and just treat him right this time, right? And then we reassess in the summer after analysing his performances for the rest of the season, after seeing exactly what we need, and then try and go and get a killer, right? And then we can see exactly what our centre-backs are saying. Because would Disasi go? Badiashile, reassess Fofana. I think there's room for Chalobah, and I think there's room for a top centre-back coming in. So, let's see. Let's see. What do you think? What would you do? Let me know below. Much appreciated. But that's the latest on the centre-back situation. I'm going to mention this very briefly, because it came out yesterday. There was no video yesterday, but it came out yesterday, and I've got to mention this. Mikhailo Mudrik's B sample has what? Gone missing? Like, what's going on? Is it landed in China? Or apparently it's going to come out sometime this month. That's just, as far as I'm concerned, Chelsea are just trying to damage limitation here. Simple as that. It come out yesterday that we will get something this month. Normally, B samples can be brought out within 5 to 7 days. Yeah, tops. Realistically, 72 hours to 5 days should be the window. I think the club know. And I think we're just trying to see exactly how to manufacture the situation, should we say, right? And see exactly what damage we can limit, basically. I honestly think that's all it is. So, let's see. Now, we move from centre-back to striker. Let's get into it. Definitely have an eye on Liam Delap. I would suggest a heavy one, says Matt Law. Now, this winter, this January, I don't know. Would Ipswich really sell him? They would sell him if the money was big enough. I think Ipswich are a sort of club, with all due respect. We lost to them, so we got to be humble here. But they're a sort of club financially. Let's be real, where if they're offered enough, they're forced. They can't say no, right? So that's something that has to be considered here. So that's what makes a deal possible in January. But that's not going to be easy. And look, realistically, I don't know what to think on this one. I really don't. Liam Delap. I've got a little feeling that there is a good striker there. But I also look at it and I think this is one hell of a risk. Because it could very easily not be a good deal. Very easily. Because he's coming from Ipswich. And all due respect, I know he was part of City growing up and all of that, okay, but still, when you look at him play, I do see good attributes, right? Good attributes. And there are players that jump up a level and then get better, right? They can handle it. They start to grow even more. They start to get even more confident. They start to bang even more goals. That can happen. And that very well could happen to him. But at a time when Chelsea need goals up front, need someone clinical, we need someone that we know is going to get the ball and is going to put it in the net. More times than not. I'm not saying every single time, but more times than not. With Jackson right now, it's the opposite. He's missing more times than not. Despite scoring a few, don't get me wrong, he could have had so much more. And that's the issue here. We need someone that is going to rinse goals. So if we were linked now, yeah, with, I mean, look, we were linked with Osimhen, that's not going to happen again. But with Osimhen, I'm like, okay, yeah, like, I reckon so. If right now we were linked with, I say this name now, and everyone's going to be like, oh man, yeah. Isak. I mean, it's not even a debate. Isak, I think, we saw what he done to Arsenal. That's basically enough. Gyökeres, we were linked with at one point. Yeah, if you remember. And this is why I say there is always a chance that a player can explode. But Gyökeres hasn't gone anywhere. He stayed at Sporting. and he's still killing it. And he's banging in goals for fun, right? But you look at him now and you take him seriously. With Liam Delap, I don't know. I do not know. God knows. No one knows. No one knows. There's nothing to look back on to tell us if this guy's going to explode or not. That's the risk. Jhon Duran we were linked with, right? In the time since we were linked with him to what he's done now at Villa, even coming off the bench, has been sensational. Sensational. So with that, you look and go, serious player there. I reckon there's probably a serious player there, yeah? You start to take him more seriously. And this is where I say Liam Delap, he could make that transition and explode, but we don't know. We genuinely don't know. So it could go either way. And this is why I'm hesitant because, and look, I think it's important in life sometimes to take risks, right? You have to. But Chelsea are at a point where if we mess this up, right? We're going to go and buy another striker. Like, it can't continue. It has to stop at some point. We have to get one striker that we're going to stick with. So, but it has to be someone that works. It has to be. This is why we'll see what happens. Liam Delap, I genuinely don't know. I'm not convinced, but who knows? Who knows? I want to know your thoughts. Do you like the player or not? What do you think? I think most people probably think the same way I do, because we don't have enough info. But we'll see. I reckon it would be, I say it'd be wise. It would be wise to probably wait until the end of the season for someone like him, even for a striker. But what are we going to do about our situation now? Because let's get to this point. Here is more from Matt Law. Christopher Nkunku, I'm confident he will go. It's just whether it's January or summer. If they get a good bid for him, they will accept it. So that's Nkunku gone. Done. Game over. Right? And Matt Law goes on to explain about Nico. So, if and when Chelsea do go for a striker, I think it will be out-and-out competition for Nicholas Jackson rather than a bench warmer type backup. I'm not saying Haaland or something, but someone who can go in the first team and challenge Nico. I'm for this. I've said this. I don't want someone that's going to play a supporting role. I want someone that's going to come and take the position, right? And then Jackson will have to fight. It's as simple as that, right? It's as simple as that. Is Liam Delap that? Respectfully now, I don't think so. I don't think so. But if we look and we went to get a Gyökeres, right? If we went to get, again, I would have said Osimhen before, but that's not happening. This is the issue. This is the issue. Delap I don't feel like that's Delap. And why I'm saying this and why I'm stressing this is because I think Chelsea are going to go for Delap. This is why. I've just got a feeling we're just going to get Liam Delap, aren't we? This is the issue. So anyway, now if we flip it and we look at the situation where we know clubs want to try and find the gem before that player gets too expensive, right? This is an example. According to Pepe Sierra, just thought I'd say the name because the handle is a little bit vague. Borussia Dortmund just asked for former Chelsea target Jhon Duran's price, and they've been quoted £71 million, 85 million euros. Would you pay that? I got to be honest, with the form that Duran has been on, especially in games in the Premier League and in the Champions League, it's no surprise, and I think it's fair. Some would say, no, that's ridiculous fee. In today's market, that makes sense. It does. If he comes off the bench and he's killing it every game, to the point where now he's basically taken Ollie Watkins' spot for Aston Villa, who are playing Champions League football, and he's at the age that he's at, with the contract that he's on, 71 million, yeah. His fee has gone up, obviously. It could have been more. It really could have been more. So, would I pay that? I gotta be honest. Considering the circumstances and what you're actually buying, It's a price that makes sense. But with Jhon Duran, this is the one thing. I think it would be beneficial if he started more games. If he's actually now the number one striker for Villa, and for at least a few games, he is actually scoring, at that point, everyone will be like, yeah, you know what, pay. Yeah, pay. Pay and don't speak. Roman, pay and don't speak. Give me Drogba. Drogba in today's market would be 250 million. Anyway, so would you pay it? Let me know. I'd love to know. But that's the striker situation at Chelsea. Let's look to some other things as we wrap up. Here's the latest coming out at Napoli. Now, this one will be interesting, even for Chelsea fans. Check this one out. Napoli are happy to sell Kvaratskhelia for a fee of 80 million euros this month, and further talks with PSG will take place. Reports Di Marzio coming out of the ground like Undertaker. Here's more from Fabrizio. More on PSG and Kvaratskhelia story were reported earlier. PSG and Napoli are in direct contact as PSG step up efforts to make it happen now, open to offering players, including Skriniar, plus cash in the deal. It now depends on Napoli decision. There's also been the link of Kvaratskhelia to Man United in a possible swap for Rashford, which, by the way, can I just say, would be Man United absolutely stealing Kvaratskhelia off Napoli here. That would be a massive upgrade on Rashford. Not that Rashford's rubbish, no. But considering what Rashford is offering Man United right now, nothing. With the wages he's on, very high. Compared to bringing in Kvaratskhelia. It's a no-brainer. If Napoli do that, they're insane. They're insane. Actually, I say insane. Rashford in Napoli might work. That might work. Because like I said, Rashford goes abroad and he might actually bang. So it's a deal that might actually make sense, but Man United are winning so much more in this deal, basically. That's my point. But PSG, we'll see. Now, look, if he's available, should Chelsea move? But then it's another winger. Like we are winger FC at this point, honestly. But with the point happening to Mykhailo Mudryk, do we need a left winger? It's a food for thought. But it won't happen because salary. No, not celery. Not celery. We're not singing the song. Yeah, not singing the song. Salary. So it's a non-starter, of course. To end, justice. Justice is needed. Justice. Check this out. Everton. Club statement. In this club statement, Sean Dyche has been sacked. You know what that is? You know what that is? That is utter woke nonsense. Utter woke nonsense. Yeah? How dare you, Everton, sack Sean Dyche? How dare you? Who do you think you are? Yeah? After all Mr. Sean Dyche did, yeah? After all that he did, and you're in a scrap, and you're sacking him? Utter woke nonsense. Respect to Sean Dyche. I love Sean Dyche. I wouldn't have him as Chelsea manager. Don't get it twisted. But I love the geezer. He's class. He's just class. English football needs Sean Dyches. It needs it. It absolutely does. Without the likes of Sean Dyche, English football dies. Yeah? Simple as that. He is part and fabric of the essence of what it means to be involved in English football. Yeah? No utter woke nonsense. Now, let's end it there. Let me know your thoughts down below. As I tell you guys, hit the subscribe button. That was a bit of a tongue twister. Notification bell on. Socials on screen. In the description. Make sure you're following. Much appreciated. Don't forget personal socials, channel socials. Thank you so much. And I will see all of you tomorrow for a double upload, including the Chelsea Morecambe preview. So I'll see you then. Have a good one, people. Look after yourselves. Take care and peace.